Pictures of Sophie Lionnet taken 2 months before she left her small town of Trouer in northeastern France. Her family say she wanted to learn English. One reason why the 21-year-old left for London to become an au pair here in Southfields, where her burned body was found in September 2017. We met Sophie's family a month after she was murdered, visiting the scene. Her aunt describes the girl she knew.
Sophie was a pearl, kind, gentle. She loved everyone. She loved making people happy. She couldn't harm anyone. She loved children, animals, everything. She didn't have the slightest bad bone in her body. Not one.
Sophie began as an au pair for Sabrina Quider and Wassim Madouni in January 2016. In this video, given exclusively to BBC London, Sophie is visibly emaciated. People who knew her say it was because she wasn't given enough food. In the 19 months she lived with the couple, she also suffered physical and mental abuse.
We don't know why Sophie didn't leave when she'd indicated that she wanted to, but given the intimidation, the bullying and the behaviour towards her and the control that Madouni and Kadir had over her, it's likely that she didn't feel able to.
Sophie's murder raises questions about the safety of au pairs living here. Nikki Bush is an academic and author of a book on au pair abuse and exploitation. She spoke to around 50 au pairs for her research.
The majority of au pairs I spoke to said that at best it was an exploitative situation where they felt kind of vulnerable, and at worst that they'd been physically assaulted or abused verbally. So obviously murder is rare, but the background, the build-up to it, the way in which Sophie was in such a vulnerable situation isn't rare.
We spoke to the Department for Work and Pensions for a comment on the au pair scheme. They referred us to the Department for Business, who in turn referred us to the Home Office, who said au pairs weren't their responsibility either, highlighting one of the issues with au pairs.
This work isn't being supervised in terms of working conditions, in terms of relationships with employers, in terms of pay, in terms of holiday, and this is problematic, I think. So I think what needs to be done is that this fiction of that there is an au pair scheme needs to be held up to the light, and the way in which people are employed in people's private homes needs to be investigated by the government.
The need for affordable childcare is driving the demand for au pairs. But the murder of Sophie Lionnet exposes just how vulnerable foreign au pairs are.
We need to make sure this doesn't happen again, not just in the UK, but all over the world. I've been told there are lots of young women and young men who are badly treated, unhappy, who are almost abandoned by the host family. It can't happen again. It can't.
Alpa Patel, BBC London News.